Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Good morning, ma'am.
And what about the slide? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So now we have completed all the practicals that were based on volumetric analysis. And today we'll be starting with engineering experiments, or you can say the non-volumetric category. The first experiment that you have to learn in this category is the determination of flash point. The objective you can see on the slide right now. Is slide number 2 visible? Yes, it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
So the objective for today's experiment is the determination of flash point of given oil by Abel's apparatus. In fact, we will be doing the determination of flash point by two methods. One is going to be by Abel's apparatus and the other is going to by Pensky-Martin's apparatus. That will be your experiment number 7. Now, this topic you've already learned in your theory classes, the lubricants I'm talking about. So before we move forward with the experimental details, will anyone tell me what do you understand by the term flash point of any oil? What do you understand by the term flash point of any oil or any lubricant?
Ma'am, minimum temperature at which any oil starts burning.
Starts burning. This is
Ma'am,
now.
initiate.
This is not
Initiating.
how. This is not how you define it. No, but still, this is not the proper definition. See, you have to define the flash point. So, the significance of the term flash should be incorporated in the definition. And like, while will the oil catch fire or will the vapors catch fire? What is it? Or will they produce a spark flash? How do you define it?
Ma'am, vapors will produce
Ma'am,
flash.
yes, ma'am.
Vapors will produce
Ma'am,
flash.
it is the lowest temperature at which the vapors of oil is formed and initiate for a moment when a small when a flame मतलब जब हम flame उसके पास लेके आया था.
Okay, so you're reading from somewhere, that means. But at least we have the correct definition with us right now. So yes, that is defined as the flash point. And as the definition says, you will be introducing an ignition source, and there will be a chamber in which the vapors of the oil will be filled, and when you will introduce that ignition source, you will just check whether on introduction a flash is produced or not. So if a flash is produced, immediately you will note down the temperature, and that temperature will be your flash point. So in fact, that is the concept of the experiment as well. So if you know the definition, you know what you have to do with the experiment. Now, since I will not be showing you the video right now in the class, I'll be uploading it at a later stage. I'll be discussing the apparatus with you in detail. So is slide number 3 visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the Abel's flash point apparatus that you can see on the slide right now. And as I said, you have to learn about two apparatus. One is the Abel's flash point and the other is the Pensky-Martin. Do you know what is the difference between the two? It
मैम
is the
शायद दूसरे वाले
temperature
में
range.
डायरेक्ट हीट किया जाता है.
And what about the temperature range, which is more important? About the experimental setup, when once we have discussed Pensky-Martin also, then only we'll compare. But what about the temperature range? This you have learned in the class. You must have learned, in fact. The temperature range for Abel's flash point, you can see on the slide right now. It is used for determining the flash point of fuels flashing between 2 degree to 49 degree. So till 49, it is the Abel's flash point apparatus which is used. But if you have to determine the flash point of fuel oils who have a flash point of more than 49 degree, then Pensky-Martin is used. Now focus on the figure that you can see on the slide right now. In fact, I can even increase the size of this for you. Now is it better visible? So you can see, first of all, there is an oil cup here. The block that you can see, there is an oil cup in which the oil or the lubricant will be placed. Can you see the lubricant has been marked? This is the oil cup in which the lubricant will be placed. This oil cup can be dismounted from the apparatus, means you can remove it, place it on the table, you can fill it with the oil, and then you can replace it again. So this is the oil cup. Then enclosing the oil cup is an air gap in direct heating, as somebody was telling me that in Pensky-Martin it is the direct heating. Here you will be indirectly heating the oil placed in the oil cup. So there is an air gap, and below the air gap you can see the water bath. So it is through the water bath through which we will be heating the oil placed in the oil cup. And below the water bath you can see the heater. So with the help of the heater you will heat the water bath, and the water bath will heat the air gap here, and when the air will pick up the temperature from the water bath, indirectly it will heat the oil placed in the oil cup. There is a stirrer for uniform heating. You can stir the oil placed in the oil cup with the help of the stirrer. There are two thermometers. This thermometer should be inverted. In fact, in the figure it has been shown with the bulb upside in the upside position, but it should be inverted. Another thermometer you can see over here, which can in fact record the temperature of the water bath, not the air gap, but of the water bath. There is a funnel here for filling the water in the water bath. And most important is the cover of the oil cup that has been shown enlarged in the figure. This is the cover of the oil cup that you can see right now as a straight line here. Now, obviously the oil cup is cylindrical with a measurement which tells you till which point you have to fill the oil in the oil cup. And this is the cover of it. In the cover you can see there is a shutter. That means you can slide it. With the help of your hands you can slide the shutter. You can pull it outside, and when you will leave it, it will close or it will go inside. There is a gap to see the flash, and there is a flame device. Flame device, or you can say there is a lid over here. So you will lit a matchstick. You will bring it near the flame device or the lid. This will catch fire, and you will leave the shutter or you will close it such that it goes inside. Means system is made such that it goes inside for a second and then it comes out, and you will see through the gap. When the burning lid will go inside for a moment, you will see through the gap whether a flash is produced in the oil cup or not. Say the oil cup will be filled till this point. So in the upper region will be present the vapors of the oil. So when you will close or you will leave the shutter device, it will go inside for a while, and if it is going to be the flash point, a flash will be produced over here that you can monitor from the gap. Has the system been clear? How does this shutter device work? So the apparatus is quite simple. There is indirect heating of the oil placed in the oil cup to the water bath, which can be heated through a heater. And in the oil cup, you have the stirrer. Two thermometers are there. The oil is filled in the oil cup, and this I was explaining about the cover of the oil cup, in which there is a lid which will be lit with the help of a matchstick, and then the system is as such. When you close it, it goes inside the cup just a little bit, it is lowered, and you see through the gap. If it is the flash point, if the temperature is the flash point, then what happens? In fact, you will monitor the temperature, and if a flash is seen, you will note that down as the flash point of the oil. So is the figure clear to everyone? Is there anyone who has any doubt?
मैम शटर डिवाइस का एक बार वर्किंग फिर से बता दीजिए.
Shutter device. See, I can explain it again to you, but the picture will be more clear to you when you will see the video. Shutter device, since it is a shutter, this can go in and out. Are you understanding? But the gap is fixed. Shutter, that means this system can go in and out as well as up and down. Clear? And at the tip of it there is a lid. जैसे दिए का lid होता है, बत्ती होती है, वैसे there is a lid over here. Are you getting the point?
Yes, ma'am.
So you will lit this with the help of a matchstick. This will catch fire, and when you will leave this you were holding with your hand, or you have driven it out. When you will pull this inside, what will happen? This will go inside for a second. This will dip inside where the vapors are present of the oil. And when this will go inside, if it is the flash point, what will happen? You will see a flash or a spark in this area. A flash will be seen, which will be visible through the gap. So if that happens, you will record the flash point or the temperature at which that occurred. This thermometer will tell you at which temperature actually that occurred. Now is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
मैम
Yes.
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम.
Yes.
मैम जैसे हमको मतलब आग इसमें लगानी है, तो मैम शटर को खोल के तब हम लिड डाल दें. मैम हम डायरेक्ट गैप में ही क्यों नहीं मैम हम लिड डाल सकते हैं? मैम आग लगाने के लिए मतलब फॉर फायर वी व्हाई नॉट
See, this is a
directly?
sophisticated instrument. In fact, the video that you will see, you can see the videos on YouTube as well. This is a sophisticated instrument. This helps you to not actually play with fire directly. Otherwise, this is also what you do. If the system is less sophisticated, you straight away introduce the fire into this chamber. Even that is done, but that is a less sophisticated instrument on which you work. Even that happens. This is a little bit sophisticated. See, it is easier to lit a diya, won't it? And in comparison to if you are straight away introducing the fire into the cabin, you are doing it, there are chances it may catch fire. The oil may catch fire if you are a little bit less careful about your actions. The oil in the oil cup may catch fire. Are you getting the point? That can be done. But this is a sophisticated instrument about which I am discussing right now. So a special device has been designed in that case. Chances of fire will be less in this case. Clear? Any other question? Are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any other doubts and questions? No? Okay, I've explained the working of the device. Still, I can read this for you, what you can see on the slide right now. There is a sealed water bath with the provision of air chamber. Water bath, air chamber to hold the oil cup. Here is the oil cup. To circulate cold water for below flash point determination and external heater for above. So, cold water will be filled if you wish to determine the lower flash points, because this range is really big. So say suppose it is from 2 to 25, then you can say it is a lower version of it, and for that cold water is used. And if you wish to determine the higher flash points, say from 25 above to 49, then you use the water bath. Then there is an external heater for that. The oil cup is provided with a lid and sliding ports for the introduction of test flame. This is known as the test flame that you lower into the oil cup. And within the oil cup, there is a circular mark to indicate the level of oil to be taken for the test. There is a mark which is always present in the oil cup, which tells you to what level you have to fill the oil. And the whole arrangement is mounted on a cylindrical enclosed stand. So this is the stand. There will be a stand on which this is mounted. So this is the ABL's flash point apparatus. Now coming to the procedure, even the procedure has been discussed. And one instruction regarding how you will be reporting the practical in your practical files, which is different from what you've been doing in the volumetric analysis experiments. In this case, you will be writing the procedure as well. In fact, this I told you in the very beginning as well. Is that clear? You will write the procedure as well for these practicals. I'm talking about the non-volumetric or engineering experiments. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So see, two methods have been given. Yes, any doubt? Coming to the procedure, is slide number 4 visible to everyone? Is it? Slide number 4, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
two methods have been given. Method A is used for oils flashing below 32 and B is used for oils flashing between 32 and 49 inclusive. Now, if you would have come to the laboratory, it is usually the method B which is followed, because the oil that is provided to you that flashes between this range 32 and 49. But since right now we are only discussing the theory of it, I will be telling you about both the methods, method A and method B. So it is a lower category which is used for the method A, lower flash points, and for the higher ones it is method B which is used. So what is done? The heating vessel is filled to overflowing with warm water. Now this is what makes it different. In the heating vessel, the water that will be filled for the water bath, it is the warm water and its temperature is adjusted to 55 degree at the beginning of the test. So the water that is taken here in the water chamber, the temperature of that water is maintained as 55 degree and the sample temperature is approximately 15 degree. This is what you do. The oil that will be filled in the oil cup, that will be maintained at a temperature of 15 degree, which will be filled in a already washed and dried oil cup until the liquid just reaches the level mark. I told you there is a mark which is present inside the oil cup, and that indicates you to what level you have to fill the oil. So the temperature of the water bath is initially maintained at 55 degree and temperature of the oil will be maintained at 15 degree. We are talking about the lower cases right now, the lower flash point cases. Then The oil cup is fitted with the cover. You will place the cover on it and with the slide closed, and it is placed in the heating vessel. I told you that the oil cup can be dismounted from the entire apparatus. So you first remove it. It should be clean, washed and dried. Then you fill the oil in it. You place the cover on it and you mount it again on the heating vessel. And the thermometers are so inserted that if the cup is properly placed, the thermometer will face the operator. So the thermometer should be placed inside the cup, and if the position of cup is right, then you will be able to see the scale on the thermometer correctly. Now the test flame is set up, and when the temperature of oil reaches 20 degree, it is applied slowly, opening the slide after every 0.5 degree rise in temperature and closed immediately until a distinct flash occurs in the interior of the cup. So what you do, because the water in the water bath is at a temperature of 55 degrees, slowly it will start heating the oil present in the oil cup. So when the temperature of the oil reaches from 15 to 20 degrees, at this stage you start applying the test flame. You apply the test flame and you see whether a flash is produced or not. And you do that after every 0.5 degree rise in temperature. And when you see that flash, you record the temperature as the flash point, and the vessel is not heated during the test. Now I have two questions. Why are we indirectly heating? Why are we indirectly heating the oil through the air gap? Number one, through the air, why are we heating it? And secondly, why are we not heating the vessel in this test? Why are we not
Ma'am,
directly?
if we'll heat directly, then oil may catch fire.
The oil cup is there, we can, that is not the case.
Ma'am, for uniform heating.
For uniform heating, the stirrer is there. Have you seen at intervals of what we are recording or we are determining the flash point? The interval is so short, 0.5 degree. That means so slow is the heating. What do you think? If you directly heat it, will the heating be taking place in this manner or fashion?
No, ma'am, temperature will rise quickly.
The temperature will rise very quickly. See, at every 0.5 degree rise of temperature, you have to check whether a flash is being produced or not. Means you will be matching, you will be lighting a matchstick and then you will be introducing the test flame and you will be checking. So even that will be taking some time, some seconds. And you have to do it for every 0.5 degree rise in temperature. So just for the slow heating, you are doing it. You are indirectly heating through an air gap, the oil I'm talking about. Yes. And why do you think the vessel is not being heated in the first part, method A? See, the water you have taken, that was at temperature of 55 degree. Yes, initially the water that has been taken in the vessel, that was at a temperature of 55. So you do not require any heating in this case. Is that clear? And at most what will happen? From 15 the temperature can go to up to 25, say, or to 32, that is all. So till 32 you apply this method. You start with heated water, that is at a temperature of 55 degree, and you do not use external heating. Is that clear? Now come to method B, that is used for higher temperatures.
Ma'am,
Yes.
excuse me, ma'am, why we have taken the temperature of water is 55 degrees Celsius?
Why 55? That is just a convention. Means you have to go till 32 and you are heating indirectly. So a temperature above 50 will be sufficient enough to give you that much of heat. That is how the machine is designed.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Now coming to method B, what is done over here? You have to go to higher temperatures. So that is why you don't take heated water here in this case, and external heating will be used. So what is done? The method is same, but in this case, the air chamber is filled to a depth of 4 centimeter with cold water, and the heating vessel is filled with cold water. Now they are saying cold water, but that doesn't mean that the water is at a temperature of 0 degree. The water will be at room temperature. That is the meaning of the term cold water over here, because they are comparing with respect to water at 55 degree. That is why they are saying cold water. Is it clear? This water is at room temperature. Clear? And you are filling some water in the air chamber, means you are actually decreasing the size of the air chamber. I can go back to the figure. Means say up to 4 centimeter you will fill water here in this air gap as well. So you're decreasing the size of the air gap because we are wanting higher temperatures over here. So you will fill the air chamber up to a depth of 4 centimeter with cold water and the heating vessel with cold water. That is water at room temperature. The vessel is heated at a rate which gives a temperature of 1 degree per minute, rise of 1 degree per minute. So here you will be using the heating filament which is placed at the bottom of the apparatus. You will be heating the water, room temperature water, such that per minute it is a rise of 1 degree. Because again, you have to check after every 1 degree, you will be checking whether a flash is being produced or not. The testing in this case is started when the temperature has risen to 25 degrees. So say if the oil is at room temperature, say 20 to 25 degree, and then after that, when the temperature starts rising, in the laboratory you don't start at 25 degree, you start at around say 38 to 40, you start. And then after every 1 degree rise in temperature, you check with the test flame whether a flash is being produced or not. And the temperature at which you will see a flash, that you will record as your flash point. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the method is clear. We can come to the observations. The observations are really direct and there are no calculations in this experiment. The experiment is really direct. Since there are two thermometers and this you should be doing in every practical. If there are measuring devices, you should be mentioning the least count of those measuring devices always in the observations. So one should report the least count of both the thermometers. For thermometer T1, which is placed inside the oil, the temperature, the least count is 0.1, and for the thermometer which is there in the air gap, the temperature for that is 0.5 degree. Flash point, what do you think? Can it vary with the atmospheric pressure? Can it vary or can it not vary with atmospheric pressure? It has
Can
to
vary.
do something. It has to do something with the vapors of the oil. So will atmospheric pressure be playing a role?
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely it will
Yes,
be
ma'am.
playing a role. Yes. Because it is the pressure, atmospheric pressure, that will be deciding how much vapors are being produced at a specific temperature. You can control the amount of pressure, amount of vapor produced with the pressure as well as with the temperature. Both the factors will be playing a role. So when you are reporting the result, you should be mentioning the pressure as well. At what pressure that flash point has been recorded. So this is a simple observation table. These are the temperatures at which you will be checking for the flash or the spark. Suppose at 38 degree you checked and you will introduce a test flame. So if there was no flash, you will write no flash. You continued with 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and say at 45 you see the flash. So you will write the flash observed. So you make the complete table. After every 1 degree you are checking. And since the least count of the thermometer is 0.1, so you should be writing 38.0. If you write 38 only, that will not be considered a correct way of presenting your result. Is that clear? Since the least count is 0.1, it should be 38.0 over here, 39.0. And say at 45 degree you observe the flash, that you will mention in the observation table. So take a slide shot of this, screenshot of the slide. Have you taken a screenshot?
Yes, ma'am.
This table must be present in the lab manual as well. You simply need to note down the observation, means at what temperature the flash is taking place. And finally, you will report the result that the closed table's flash point of the oil is found to be 45 degree and barometric pressure 760 millimeter Hg. Be particular, if you are reporting it in centimeter, it should be 76. In millimeter, it should be 760. So is the experiment clear to everyone? That was quite simple and it did not take much time to explain.
Ma'am,
Yes.
excuse me, I have a doubt. Ma'am, why we have taken the, in method 1, we have taken the rise as a 0.5 degrees Celsius per minute, and in method 2, we have taken 1 degree Celsius per minute. Then what will be the difference in between these two?
I think it's about, see, there will be no difference. We are more precise in the first case. That is the case. I think we are more slow in the first case. That is why it is possible actually to take the observation in an interval of 0.5 degree. Otherwise, when you are directly heating, it won't be that easy actually to check after every 0.5 degree rise in temperature. I think that is the reason they have done that. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am. Means, ma'am, method A is more precising.
Yeah, definitely, because we're checking after every 0.5 degrees. So the result that you will get there, suppose in the second case, we are reporting at 45, but the result is say 44.5. Will you be able to monitor it? Because you have not checked at that point. Will you be able to monitor 44.5?
No, ma'am.
No. So definitely the result is more precise in the first case because you're checking after every 0.5. It is because of the possibility. If that was possible in the second case, one would have done that as well. But because we're directly heating, the heating is going to be faster in the second case. You got it?
Ma'am, if we have understood that method 1 is more precise, then when we use method 2?
Will we use method second or first you're talking about? See, that will depend upon the oil that you will use. If the flash point is lying above 32, then you have to use the second method. It is depending upon the range in which the flash point is lying. If the temperature is below 32, then you will be using method A. This I have explained.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Any other doubts or questions? So this
Yes,
was
ma'am.
all about the experiment. Yes. Is there any doubt?
Yes, ma'am. मैम
Yes.
हमारा apparatus तो closed है, like a pressure cooker, तो मतलब उसमें मैम atmospheric pressure का effect नहीं होना चाहिए ना, like जब हम open container में boiling करते हैं तब ना atmospheric pressure का फर्क आता है.
See, but there is a gap through which you are seeing it. That gap will always be present. Atmospheric pressure is playing a role.
Ma'am, that gap in the lid.
Yes, that will always be there.
Okay, ma'am.
Any other doubt? But this I will confirm, in fact. I need to confirm this. But you always report the atmospheric pressure, but that means it is playing a role. But still, I will confirm this on the next term. Are you asking this question? For this, you
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
find out like what is the difference between the closed and open one. Do you know the difference between closed and open flashpoints? I will confirm this on the next term. Any other doubt?
No, ma'am.
So if no, I have two announcements to make. First of all, you will be reporting this practical in your practical file and you will be submitting it by Sunday. After the class, I will be sharing a link and I'm giving you sufficient time. Write the procedure as well, make the figure. You have to draw the figure as well in the practical file with proper labeling. And obviously the theory, you have to make notes of it as I have been asking you to do it on every turn. And you need to upload the experiment till 9 o'clock in the evening on Sunday. This is one announcement. The second announcement is that on the next turn I will be taking a quiz. So come prepared. Whatever experiments you have learned till now, I will be conducting a quiz based on that. It is going to be a multiple choice based quiz, multiple choice based questions quiz, and it will hardly take say 10 to 15 minutes to answer all the questions. So that is the time I'm going to give you. First of all, I'll explain the next experiment to you, and after that, towards the end of the class, I will take the quiz. Is that clear? So come prepared for that. I'm informing you in advance for that.
Ma'am, how many questions will be there in quiz?
8 to 10.
Okay, ma'am.
So with this now I can close today's class.